Straight ahead on WBKB, we have upgrades coming to the Alpena County Regional Airport.
Plus, find out why one congressman is leaving his party and one Alpena woman is saying goodbye after 24 years of service with the Community Foundation.
You're watching Thunder Bay News Network. WBKB News at 6 starts now.
This is WBKB News at 6. An in-depth look at news, weather, and sports. From hard-hitting news stories to local events, we're there with coverage you can count on. You're watching WBKB News at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Tyler Cruz.
And I'm Sherry Stewart. The state's chief medical executive, Dr. Janae Caldoon, says we have entered a new era in the fight against the coronavirus pandemic now that the first shipments of the Pfizer vaccine have arrived at Michigan hospitals. Speaking to reporters Tuesday, Dr. Caldoon said 10,750 Michiganders have died from the virus, but the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine is 95% effective, is safe, and has been tested in trials including tens of thousands of people.
As more and more people get the vaccine, we will start to see fewer cases and fewer lives lost. While it will take several months, there will be an end to this pandemic.
Dr. Caldoon says there are nearly 300 providers across the state that will be able to administer the vaccine to everyone with no out-of-pocket cost. She says the Michigan Department of Health is cautiously optimistic that there will not be a post-Thanksgiving surge in COVID cases.
That's some great news to open up with there tonight. A Michigan representative to Congress has left the Republican Party due to their efforts to undermine election results. Representative Paul Mitchell of Michigan's 10th Congressional District has requested the Clerk of the House to change his party affiliation to independent. Michigan told CNN of his disgust and disappointment with President Trump's efforts to overturn the election and said he is withdrawing his engagement and association with the Republican Party at both the national and state level.
Well, if you're an owner of a small business in Michigan and have been impacted by COVID-19, you now have a chance to apply for some relief. Applications for the Michigan Economic Development Corporation's Pure Michigan Small Business Relief Initiative opened for Michigan residents early Tuesday. Business owners can apply for grants of up to $15,000. The program will utilize $10 million in federal CARES Act funding to provide economic assistance statewide. Eligible businesses will be awarded grants on a first-in basis. To learn more about eligibility and program guidelines, you can visit michiganbusiness.org/relief.
Well, the old home of Die Hard 2 is getting a new look. Steve Smigelski, the manager at Alpena County Regional Airport, explains he has several plans for the future. With close to $18 million in government relief from the CARES Act, Smigelski is beginning to focus on upgrading storage and building revenue creators for the airport and the town. The best part, with the federal money, none of these projects will cost Alpena anything.
The airport is going to be able to reimburse the county for the next 3.5 years for any expenses.
The plan is to build 20 hangars that will be leased out to private aircraft owners, as well as an area for people to store RVs and boats.
We're also going to build an RV and boat storage facility. Now, I've been told by many people that there's a lack of capacity in our area for people to store, for all intents and purposes, their summer toys.
One of the big projects is happening at the old terminal. Smigelski plans to tear it down and construct a restaurant and multi-use building for weddings and events.
And the facility that we're going to put up, it's going to be essentially twice the size of what the old terminal is now. And that's going to house a restaurant. It's also going to be designed as a multi-purpose meeting building. So
the federal government will reimburse every penny spent on the airport, and Smigelski expects the renovations completed in the next few years. Well, it sounds like the airport is getting a really nice upgrade, Sherry.
Very nice, very nice. Well, the Community Foundation for Northeast Michigan's mission is to fulfill their charitable goals for donors and address the current and future needs of our communities. Since 1974, the organization has served Alpena and surrounding cities, but it's also the people involved behind the scenes who help make the organization successful. WBKB's Tiffany Maddox has more as she talks with one staff member saying goodbye after over 24 years of service.
Disabling the 6 o'clock alarm in the morning. I think of spending more time with family, friends, things I like to do, grandson, and just connecting with people.
Those are some of the things Julie Wiesen looks forward to after she retires at the end of December. The program director of the Community Foundation for Northeast Michigan is preparing for her departure, but reminisces on how she got her start.
I had a job at Alpena Community College with a national grant, and the grant was ending. So Lucas Pfeifenberger, who was in charge of the Community Foundation, said, "We have an opportunity, and you would be perfect, and we would like to have you apply."
And the rest is history. Staff say Wiesen is a force to be reckoned with, helping pave the way for others.
When I first joined the organization, I was really fortunate to have Julie as one of my teachers. And what I really enjoyed about Julie is the fact that she loved her job.
And I learned all about how many wonderful people we have in this community and what philanthropy is all about. And most importantly, I learned that you don't have to have a whole lot of money to be a philanthropist.
Although Wiesen is departing, she plans to help out with projects near and dear to her heart, like raising enough funding for the Women's Giving Circle.
I want that to get to $1 million. That's just been my goal.
A goal some say can only be done with Wiesen's passion.
I think that if Julie sets her mind to it, look out.
In Alpena, Tiffany Maddox, WBKB News.
And Julie says if there's ever an opening with the foundation and you want to help others, it's surely a great place to be. Congratulations, Julie. Very nice.
That's an awesome story.
Very
congratulations.
Nice.
Happy retirement.
Yes, well, there's more news ahead for you here on WBKB. Coming up, Attorney General Dana Nessel warns against drop shipping this holiday.
Well, here's meteorologist Ellie Morrison with a first check of the weather. Ellie, it's cold outside. Is it staying like that?
Tyler, very cold around the area with temperatures in the upper teens. We are seeing cloudy skies throughout all of northeast Michigan. Some lake effect snow showers that were affecting Presque Isle County earlier in the day have dissipated, but we have cloudy skies, 18 degrees in Alpena, 19 degrees in Rogers City, and 23 degrees in Oscoda. As we go through the night, temperatures will be pretty stable, maybe even increasing a touch, close to 20 degrees this evening. By the time we get to the early morning, we'll have temperatures in the lower and middle 20s. Highs tomorrow expected to reach about 29 degrees. That doesn't sound all that warm, but that's more than 10 degrees warmer than what we have outside currently. The temperatures will continue going on a warming trend through the rest of the week, so I'll let you know how warm we'll get by the end of the week and when our next chances of snow showers are going to move in, coming up a bit later in the newscast.
Thanks, Ellie. I've never been more excited for 30-degree weather. Well, two Alpena banks, TCF Bank and Huntington Bank, will both be operating under the Huntington name and brand after the companies announced a merger earlier this week. Companies will merge to create a top 10 U.S. regional bank with dual headquarters in Detroit and Columbus, Ohio. After the transaction completes in June of 2021, the company will be worth approximately $22 billion. The agreement signed on December 13th is an all-stock merger, so investors will maintain their equity in either company.
Well, if you've made your holiday list, you need to check it more than just twice, as Attorney General Dana Nessel warns of drop shipping scams this holiday season. This scam happens when someone sets up a website to sell products they don't have. Orders are then sent to a third-party entity who ships the product to the buyer. Buyers pay more than what the product would have cost because the seller is essentially charging more to order the product for them. While drop shipping is not illegal, Attorney General Dana Nessel warns to be cautious when shopping online. Some tips to avoid being scammed: research the product and the seller, do online image searches, and compare pricing with other sellers. And that is great advice,
Yes.
for sure. Yeah. Well, coming up on WBKB News, Ellie Morrison is next with your 7-day forecast, plus the photo of the day. Stay tuned.
A good reminder that it is December with these cold temperatures and those on and off chances of some light amounts of snow.
As if we needed a reminder with all that snow we had this weekend. Sports is up next. Jake has all your local sports stories of the day. Pets of the week are up next.
Yes.
Today's Pets of the Week are Emmeline, Charity, Augusta, and Cookie. How could I forget the pets? Kent Davis has more.
Today's first pet is Emmeline. She's the sister of Gabriella, who we met last week. Emmeline is a bit camera shy, but playful when she thinks she's not being watched. She often tries to tussle around with her sister, but hasn't won just yet. Next up, we have Charity. Charity is incredibly shy and needs a lot of love to help her come out of her shell. You'll have to be patient when you introduce yourself. Now let's say hello to Augusta. Augusta is almost 2 years old and a massive cuddle bug. Her most distinguishing features are her extra toes on her front paws. This girl's not super keen on playtime, but she loves resting in your lap. Finally, let's meet Cookie. Cookie is 5 years old and she is over it. She just likes to lounge in high places and look at you. Cookie prefers having her space over playing with any kinds of toys, but she will allow herself to be pet if you meet her terms. To learn more about adoption, visit HuronHumaneSocietyInc.org.
I'm glad I didn't forget that story. Sports is coming up next, and now Jake Vanderbrook is in with a preview. Jake, what's happening today?
Yeah, Tyler, coming up next in sports, 2 area football players earned All-Stay from this season. I'll let you know who. Plus, Chris Spielman will be leaving the broadcast booth after this season, and he's going to rejoin the Lions organization. So what's his new role with the Lions? I'll tell you in just a bit. You're watching WBKB News at 6.
And welcome back. The cast of The Sopranos reunite for a good cause, and who will win The Amazing Race? CBS's Danya Backus has more in your eye on entertainment.
The cast and creators of HBO's mob drama The Sopranos are reuniting. The virtual reunion will benefit Friends of Firefighters, which was founded in the aftermath of 9/11 to support FDNY firefighters and their families. The event will feature the cast reading a new Sopranos sketch along with a Q&A session. The live 2-hour reunion streams on Twitch December 18th. We're getting a first look at the Walker Texas Ranger reboot, Walker.
Cordell Walker, Texas Ranger.
Jared Padalecki stars as Cordell Walker, a widower and father who returns to Austin after being undercover for 2 years, only to discover there's harder work to be done at home. Walker premieres Thursday, January 21st on the CW.
I'm getting ready to do something I really don't want to do.
After traveling through 11 countries, 17 cities, and more than 33,000 miles, one team will be crowned winners of The Amazing Race. The final 3 teams travel to New Orleans in hopes of winning the $1 million prize. The season finale airs tomorrow night on CBS. That's your eye on entertainment. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
I just saw the size of the baby.
And that's all we have for you this